Hello everyone, this is B. Vehramat. Today I am going to discuss one of the interesting chapter that is atoms. See, before going to start the topic atoms, there is some introduction. The first thing is matter. Matter means anything we can call it as a matter. Anything having mass which occupies some space that is called as matter. Then, the structure of matter that shapes the world around us was an object of a study for a long time. See, so the word in which word is made from what? So that the study of that is made a long time. Especially the scientist, the Dalton, was the first to postulate that matter is made up of a smallest particle, that is we can call it as atom, then which is invisible. So this postulate which is proposed by the scientist Dalton. Then by the end of the 19th century, there are so many evidence is accumulated in the favor of atomic hypothesis of matter. The matter made up of what? So which is explained in the so many evidences, so many experiments, which is helps to matter which is made from what. Then especially in the 1897, the experiments on electric discharge through a gases which is carried by the scientist the J.J. Thomson. So according to him, he revealed that atom of the different elements contains a negatively charged particle. Then it is named as electrons. According to J.J. Thomson, so there are some contents in the atom in which one is negatively charged one, which is called as electron. However, atoms on the whole are electrically neutral. This is a well-known term. But J.J. Thomson found a element which is a negatively charged one. So therefore, an atom must also contain some positively charged particles to neutralize the negative charge of the electron. This is the first theory which is explained by the J.J. Thomson. According to that J.J. Thomson, he explained clearly there is a negatively charged particles which are present in the atom. The first atomic model was proposed by J.J. Thomson in the year 1898. According to the J.J. Thomson model, the positive charge of atom is uniformly distributed throughout the volume of the atom like a pudding, and negatively charged electrons are embedded in it like a plums in that pudding. See here, like this. So this is a J.J. Thomson atomic model. So according to this J.J. Thomson atomic model, see, so the total, this is an atom, this one is an atom. So according to him, the total positive charge is distributed uniformly throughout the volume of the atom. So totally this atom is which is completely made up of positively charged particle, or the positively charged particles are distributed uniformly throughout the volume of the atom like a pudding. Then like this, see here, like this, and there are some electrons are situated here and there are some electrons are embedded in the this atom like a plums. Therefore, this atom model, actually this atomic model is sometimes called as plum pudding model. The total positive charge like in the atom was even actually it is looks like a the fruit in the watermelon. See, this is particular example which is related to James Thomson's J.J. Thomson atomic model. See here, example is like this: watermelon. In the watermelon, the red color fruity, which is like a positive charged particle, which is distributed throughout the fruit. But here there are some seeds are embedded, which is present here and there. That is like a negatively charged particles. See, which is like a negatively charged particles. So this is the negative charged particles like a plums, and positive charged particles like a pudding. Hence, this J.J. Thomson atomic model, which is also called as plums pudding model. Then the J.J. Thomson model actually it is a failed to satisfy the some results of the experiments performed by the Rutherford and the others. The scientist Rutherford and others conducted some experiments. Then, so the results of those experiments which does not satisfy this J.J. Thomson model. Hence, the next major steps towards the structure of the atom was Rutherford nuclear atomic model. According to the Rutherford nuclear atomic model, the electron is revolving around the positively charged nucleus. So, which is electron is revolving around the positively charged nucleus, and the positively charged nucleus, and the center of the atom, which is made up of positively charged particle. It is just like a planets are revolving around the sun. The next came the Bohr's atomic model, which was successfully explains the concept of spectrum of an hydrogen atom and hydrogen like atoms, but which is failed to explain the spectrum of a complex atoms. He does not explain about the complex atoms structures. Then it was further modified by the Sommerfeld relativistic atomic model. Finally, now we are using vector atomic model, which is being used today. Alpha particle scattering experiment. In the year 1911, H. Geiger and E. Mercedin, they conducted an alpha particle scattering experiment under the guidance of E. Rutherford. See, the experimental arrangement is like this as given in the figure. See, this is a source. This one is a source of the particle, that is an alpha particle. Source of an alpha particle, which is a radioactive source. In generally, for example, bismuth. So that is one of the example for the source, which contains or which is present inside the lead cavity actually, which is covered by the lead cavity like this. See here, S be the source and which is present inside the lead cavity. So why we are using lead cavity means which protects radiation not emit from other sides. So we need to move the radiation in this direction. That's why which is present at this cavity. Then the alpha particles, so which are emitted from the source, that is passes through the use of through the help of lead slit. This is a lead slit which allows to flow these alpha particles as a unidirectional collimated beam. Then so these emitted alpha particles of energy is 5.5 mega electron volt, which is emitted by the source, are collimated into a narrow beam. See here like this, which is collimated into a narrow beam with the help of lead slit. With the help of lead slit, then collimated beam of alpha particle. See this collimated beam of alpha particle which allowed to fall on the a thin gold foil. So which allowed to fall on the thin gold foil. So of its thickness is 2.1 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter approximately. So the thickness of the thin gold sheet is about 2.1 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter. Then the alpha particle which is scattered into a different directions are observed. See here. So once this collimated beam of alpha particle, once which is fall on the gold foil, these radiations of alpha particles which are scattered into the different directions are observed through the rotate, which is that alpha particle which is observed through the rotatable detector. This is a detector. Once the ray of alpha particles which will fall on the gold foil, this is a gold foil, then so that will scattered with a different direction, like it may be like this or like this, like this, like this, like this, and these scattered alpha particles which are observed through the help of this detector. This detector is rotatable or movable detector which can rotate like this or like this. Then the actually this detector which is detecting before going to detect, there is a one slide thin sheet is there. This is, we can call it as a screen. That screen which is made up of zinc sulfide screen. Why we are using zinc sulfide means once the alpha particles are fall on the zinc sulfide, there is some flashes are takes place, so which produces some flashes. Then through the help of detector, so we can observe the alpha particles. Then the alpha particles produces a bright flashes or a scintillation on the ZNS screen. Then these alpha particles are observed in the microscope detector. So which counted the different angles from the direction of incident beam. So from the direction of incident beam we can measure the angle also. Then angle of deviation theta. See here, this is an angle of deviation theta. So of the alpha particles from its initial direction, which is called as scattering angle. So it is an angle between the incident path of the alpha particle and deviated alpha particle. So angle between these two we can call it as scattering angle. See, from these, we'll get the one graph. If we plotted a graph, then the graph obtained by the plotting the number of alpha particles scattered in given as a function of scattering angle. See, so the number of alpha particles are scattered along the y-axis and scattering angle along the x-axis. If we consider like this, so which is shown in the given graph, then the dots in the figure represents, see, so these represents the data points in the actual experiment, and the solid curve is theoretical predictions based on the assumptions of that atom has a small positively charged nucleus at its center, and it is observed from the graph. So from this it is observed. Then by conducting the experiment, alpha scattering experiment, from this experiment we can conclude, so we'll get the three different results, in which the first result is the many of the alpha particles passes straight like this. See, so if the alpha beam of alpha particles are like this, then in which many of the alpha particles passes straight through a gold foil. That means they do not suffer any collision with the gold atoms. See here, so this is the one gold atom, this is a one gold atom, and these are the rays. Totally this is a beam of alpha particle. Once the beam of alpha particles are entering into the gold foil or gold atom, here this is a center core of the atom which is called as a nucleus. Then so from the alpha scattering experiment, which is there are three results we obtained, in which first one is many of the alpha particles passes straight. See here, many of the alpha particle passes straight through a gold foil without any deviation. This is the first result. Then second one is the only 0.14% of the incident alpha particles are scattered by more than 1 degree. See here, only this is an example given for only one atom. Like that, so if we consider about the gold foil which contains many atoms, so from that, so we are explaining the some results in which second one is only 0.14% of the incident particles are scattered more than 1 degree. About 1 in 8,000, see, about 1 in 8,000 alpha particles, out of 8,000, one particle is reflect back, or which is scattered more than 90 degrees. See, which scattered more than 90 degree. This is possible only 1 in 8,000 particles. See here, these are the three different results. One is many of the alpha particles passes straight through a gold foil. That means they do not suffer any collision with the gold atoms, which passes straight without any deviation. First one. Second one, the only about 0.14% of the incident alpha particles are scattered more than 1 degree. See, like this, only 0.14% of alpha particles, incident alpha particles scattered more than 1 degree. At last, about 1 in 8,000 of the incident alpha particle is deflected more than 90 degree. So this is possible in one particle in 8,000. So these are the some results which is which are the outcome of the